Live.
Ah.
All right.
Okay.
So,
good morning,
good morning,
good afternoon,
Good morning.
whoever's watching. This
Yes.
is our 4th organizational meeting. It's June 24th,
Yes.
and it is a Tuesday afternoon. And we're grateful that Max took his time to be here, and that Jim took his time to be here, and that I took my time at 8 o'clock. I got up at 6 in order to be here.
Oh, very good.
So,
Wow.
maybe some other members will join soon, but for now we're going to start with the blessing, and then we will discuss what we can discuss among us three at the moment. So I will start with the blessing.
yes, please do.
So, our dear Creator and Mother, Father, God, and all the good spirits and our ET friends who are with us and working with us and supporting us, we invite you to be with us and to guide us and to open our hearts that this meeting is not only from the mind and from the details, but also stemming from the heart and stemming from telepathy. So we want to use our hearts and expand them out towards each other. And we want to embrace all the members who are not here, who will be watching later, that they can feel part of this heart and feel part of what we're doing and be inspired about what's going on and how they can be. So we thank you for that. And now I'd like to unite. I'd like to surround all of us, Jim, Charles, Max, Steinberg, Saphira, Tuminello. I surround all of us with light and connect our original minds, our original hearts, and our higher selves with each other, that we can commune in love and in good purpose, highest intent, and draw the best spiritual support. Aju, Amen, and many blessings.
Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Very good.
So now when we are in peace, one of the topics, so what's our agenda? We have a lot of things which we should discuss, but we should discuss that with other working teams. We have all of those working teams. That's like item 1 on the agenda, working teams and what do they do. Item 2 is broadcasting versus off-air hangouts. Off-air. We should discuss that. There is one personal item which goes after the broadcast. I didn't want to bring it up before because it would distract everyone. So after the broadcast, we'll stop and I will continue discussing that item. So we'll have to stop broadcast around, I would say, 12:30. So 12:30 would be a good time to stop. And then we continue discussing offline. There is specifically few working groups which we can discuss now, including channeling, educational, and a couple more maybe. There is a topic of elections, which I think we can start with the topic of elections. And
Yes.
that's what all I have. And there is, yes, there is one more thing which would fit under channeling working group, channelers team. I will bring it up. It's a pretty big topic, but it fits under channelers.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have. What do you have?
I don't have any. Sabrina said that after the elections, she will organize a hangout for everybody on the welcome team so that we can figure out the best way to go about that. And yeah, so I think that still has to be developed. Like, how do we know who new members are? Unless they come out and say, hi, I'm new. Sometimes you don't guess from the nickname if somebody's new or not, especially on Skype. Like Sabrina was saying last week, sometimes people come in and we know them, but they have a whole different Skype name, or they're using a new Skype name and you don't know who it is. So sometimes it's hard to know who's a new member and who isn't. So we've got to work that out. And then I think we want to make a group invitation or group emails for new members so that we can all, can you all, I can't see, oh, there you go. Yeah, so that we can all know, you know, who's new and how we should all respond to them, things like that. So it's kind of hard to discuss the welcoming team without Sabrina and without that hangout first that we're planning to have.
Let me answer technical things here. First, there is members here. Can you see that? Should be able to see. So on the left side of the side, there is members.
Yes, I've looked at that, and what it shows is who's been active the most.
Then you say newest registers. Here, that newest registered.
Oh, okay.
And that's here we go. These are newly registered people. Now, most of you are admins. So if you're an admin, you click on that person. And you can find their email pretty easily. So you click on profile. And I cannot show this email because it's private. But if you click on profile or settings, I don't remember exactly, but profile or settings, you will see their email.
Okay.
So then you have two pieces of information. You have their name and email. And then you ask them, what's your Skype ID? And make them friends on Skype. And now if I go on Skype, I'll show you. I think I can do that. If I go on Skype, yes, here is, for example, here is my Skype. And here is my friend Gabriel, who is not that private. So if I want to, not that concerned with privacy, so if I want to change his name in Skype, I can rename this guy. And I put here, and that's also this guy, and that's also this guy. So I know all his identities right here on hand. And
Okay.
it's the same in my Gmail. I do the same in my Gmail. In contacts, I say this one equals this one, and in brackets it's this one. So, and then I have all of that on hand. I mean, obviously it's nice to have a table, but the problem with the table, I will turn off the screen share. I'm coming back to video. So,
Hi, Brian.
hey, Brian.
Hi,
Brian. All right. Go ahead. Hey, Brian. Nice you joined us.
Thank
We
you.
were so
Max,
excited.
I know. I'd
Yeah.
get things set up with my children, so.
Yes,
Hello.
we're very few people this morning, so people don't like meetings.
my children, they like hangouts.
Yeah.
Let's call it
It's-
organizers hangout.
That's a better idea, Max. I tell you, that'll work.
Yeah.
Offline and let everybody join and smoke something. That would be great. So I was talking that my children are getting last day of school 2 days from now. After that, my time will be different. They will be on background, making noises and making faces and showing something on back. So, but now I enjoy last quiet moment. I have 2 more days to go. I was talking about the privacy. So there was a suggestion by Sabrina. There was a suggestion that
Yes,
we make a table of all identities of every person. And here is this privacy problem. If that table goes to another organizer, there is a chance of infiltration by negatives or just sloppiness. Somebody posts it. If somebody is in text in a computer, it's so easy to get it stolen and posting and blah, blah, blah. That's one of the reasons I don't make the table, official table of everybody's email, everybody's Skype ID, everybody's real name. I want to keep it a mess. I mean, that mess helps people to keep
Their
keep
anonymity.
their privacy and anonymity. Especially, some of them love to have multiple names, and maybe that corresponds to their multiple personalities. I have multiple personalities. I have mainstream, which is, please, guys, don't publish my mainstream personality, and please don't befriend my mainstream personality. If you want your mainstream personality to befriend my mainstream personality, that is fine. But your alternative personality, please don't link to my Facebook and other places.
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Saphira, you can't tell the names of the new people or ones that have several different names, but it's not a bad thing to welcome all the names, no matter what.
Okay.
And because if they're welcome 2 or 3 times under different names, that's not a bad thing.
Okay. Awesome.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you. Yes.
That's not a bad thing. They know that no matter what name that pops up, they're welcome. So I say don't try to figure it out. Just welcome everybody that's different and new that you never saw before.
Excellent.
Okay. And they can also write back and say, well, I've been here 2 years, but thank you. It's nice to Be welcomed
Well,
again.
and you can say, well, it was a new name we didn't know. So,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
but welcome anyway. So,
Good
I
idea.
mean, it's just nice to welcome every new name, I think.
Okay.
I was thinking about that and going, who cares if it's the same person? If we welcome them again, they can't feel unwelcome.
That's true. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah.
Brian, do you have a comment here?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, what's wonderful about that is no matter who it is, the new people that come here, that are drawn here for a reason. So everyone that pops in is always, there's something that drew them here for a reason. You know, it's not by chance. So even if they feel a little negative in the beginning, it's because maybe no one accepted them, or, you know, so always put the positive out there, because you never know, it might just take us to change their hearts. I mean, to work with them, to facilitate. And so they might see, these people are more open, understanding than the other groups. Who knows?
Yes.
So it opens them up.
Yeah. Very nice.
And the more neutral we are, more positive we are in a way that can understand their anger, their frustration of what's going on in the world, at least it gives them the opportunity to shift and change.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, you people out there are changing lives, making people more welcome. You're changing people's perceptions and making them feel more welcome and making them feel love that they have not felt before. So I say congratulations to you guys, because you're doing a wonderful job. So there are people that say, wow, I came upon you all of a sudden, but now I feel that this was meant to be. So because I'm learning a lot and I feel more comfortable with myself and more comfortable with this group of people, because you guys are really accepting. It's a wonderful thing, and a lot of people just don't have that acceptance where they are.
Right.
So,
like, for example, Sarah, she's
Yeah.
relatively new, and she came in, and Rowie and everybody else, I saw her on the chat at Hucolo, were welcoming her. Before you know it, she's in a hangout. Before you know it, she's speaking languages. I mean, all within a really short time, right? Like a few days, because she felt so welcome.
I met her yesterday.
Well,
It opened up her heart an opportunity to say, well, I'm not sure about the languages in the beginning, but now she started really embracing them.
Yeah.
So it takes time to work on people sometimes. Open their hearts, their comfort.
Agreed.
it's a shame that I draw the vibration few points down. You're not like 5.2, and I'm bringing a 4.5. But let me do the screen share again, and I'll show you one more. So that's. Can you see that? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. So now, so we asked what would the organizing committee, how do you call it, welcome party, what you can do. But what people can do to make our lives easier is like OJ. Thank you, OJ. Can you see OJ is here? He put his main thing, and he put lots of his nicknames one after another.
Yep.
And he is not afraid. So if you're not afraid, then do that. Name and followed by number is pretty good, because it's easy to pronounce, and also number gives you uniqueness. And there is we have now several Brians. Brian, if you can create a uniqueness to a name, that would help us from other Brians.
I'll put some numbers there.
Numbers would be fine.
Yeah, great.
In my notes, you're Brian with a hat.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a great picture. I like it. It's good.
All right, and another example is Peter. Initially, his name was just unpronounceable because it was more like German than English. For German, it might sound all right, but for English, it was just too difficult. And I just personally asked him, Peter, do you mind if I rename you to Peter? He said, oh, no problem. So if someone is difficult, pick the difficult nickname. And if you are welcome party, ask them, maybe they can rename themselves. And in brackets, in parentheses, they can keep the old name so people know that they changed the name. Because that would help tremendously. And in Skype, it's almost impossible to change your ID, but it's easy to change your name. So If you want to be friendly to others and want to be known under unique, identifiable name, that is great. Now, picking a completely unique name is something which has two sides. Okay, I'm going back to live. So to video. So two sides. Like Mark Steinberg is almost so common name that there is like another 20 Mark Steinbergs. But Hucolo, Hucolo, is absolutely unique. So if you want to make your trademark, the brand, pick something unique and which is easy to pronounce and which is resonates with you, and go with that. All right, I'm done with that item. Do we have anything else here about the names and identities and stuff?
No, I think we covered it. Unless anyone out there has anything about the names, identities, etc.
No.
The welcoming committee. I just think that it's a great idea to welcome every ID.
Yeah, I was really warmly welcomed. There is a side, the Federation of Light, the one which banned us. When I came there, about 10 members came and welcomed me, and it was so overwhelming that I don't even have the time to read all their welcomes, but it was absolutely great, and I came back to that site, and it's like very, very loving site where they just say nice things to each other. Yes. Another example of the community which promotes that is Flickr. I don't know if you're a photographer into artistic photography. That is a site which, it's one of the hugest sites. Like, it's close to Facebook. Photographers post their pictures, but then they're prompted to say nice words about each other. And as they do that, the communities grow, and you get cookie points, or how do you say, brownie points for saying nice things to each other. And that is, people just come there to hear nice things about themselves. And it's wonderful. It's a community of love.
That's a good thing. It's always good to hear good things about yourself and say good things about others, because we need it. It's a rough world out there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that we're being real selfish. It's just you need some uplifting sometimes. So,
of course, yes.
Yeah, and encouraging each other is a wonderful way to go. I mean,
yes.
And I see that happening all the time here at Hucolo and at the Hangouts.
What a nice picture you have on your show.
I do. Did I spill coffee? Did I spill coffee on it?
He's doing the encouragement thing.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing was, I think it was the other day, about the pictures and stuff. I don't know if you guys covered it earlier.
Yes.
About people who post pictures because they have ownership of those pictures. Would it be good to encourage them to have like a watermark or something that, to... Okay.
People, all right, if you like to copyright your stuff, all you need to do is say it's my copyright. That's, in the United States, that's sufficient to keep it, it's official. If you are the author, you say that's my copyright, put your name, and it's your copyright. You don't have to do any more patenting. But there is a new trend. It's called open source, or open source for pictures, open source for music, open source for texts, Creative Commons label, where you say everybody is welcome to use my work, and I think that's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Our videos, if you don't make them worse, you can copy them anywhere. We don't copyright them.
And there is a poor man's copyright. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but if you really have, you heard of it?
I
poor
have.
man's copyright, where you take a copy of all the material that you've written and you put it in an envelope and mail it to yourself. And if anybody starts using it and trying to make money on the information that is yours, you can pull out that, and there's a postmark on that.
Right.
And it's still sealed, and they will open it in front of the others and match it up to the information.
Yeah.
But I don't know who has guts to go after hackers.
Yes.
I mean, we don't,
But the thing is you can prove it's yours.
If you're above 4.8 in your vibrational frequency, you wouldn't even notice the copyright things.
Right.
No, I don't either. But that's true.
It's like,
but there are some people that would. I mean, I'm
all,
just saying that for those who would.
Yeah, it's all.
Well,
I
wrote some songs that I sent to a publisher, and I don't know if I did that poor man's copyright or not, but everybody who knew me knew they were mine. But sometimes somebody said they thought they heard something similar. You know, anyway, the thing is, yeah, 4.55 vibration is nice, but if somebody's making millions off of a song I wrote, I kind of would like to have some of that. As altruistic as I want to be. Yes, I'm sorry.
I will post a piece of music, which is one of my favorite. It was composed by a known artist in Russia. And in Russia, there is a guild of musicians, basically, in Soviet Union. If you're not officially approved to be a writer or a musician or a painter in Soviet Union, then, you know, if you write or compose something, that's like kind of a crime. You would be punished for that. So only officially approved communist musicians could create music. So there was a musician who was a beautiful, wonderful, talented musician, composer, and he worked as a performer. And because he wasn't part of that communistic union, he attributed all his writings to ancient medieval authors, unknown or known, and he created amazing music, amazing, incredible, and some of this is now played still after his death, played on worldwide by classical performers, and they still refer it to original, to this imaginary authors or wrongly attributed authors. And I will post this music but even after the breakup of Soviet Union, he didn't come up with his identity, and it wasn't important for him actually. He performed. I mean, for him it was more important that the music reaches the audience, and he didn't care to place his name on that. His daughter knows that, and now the whole community who love his music, we know his true identity, but it wasn't important for him.
Nice. Thank you.
Nice. So
okay.
Yeah, my books, you can make millions on them. But if you're professional, if you're making money on that, like books and art and music, then we have to work on that. But we are not about that. It's just not our way at the moment.
You have a big heart, Max.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And we switch to a new topic. Okay. So it's that group, that team hasn't been formed, so I think it still would be under umbrella of Welcome Party group. Outreach. We mentioned that outreach. Most of the work started was by Fluffy, a nice Chinese girl, Korean girl living in China and high school student in China. And she has that talent to introduce people to each other. So she introduced us to others, and very significant others. And now her and a few others did that. A few other nice friends introduced us to other celebrities in channeling business and video business. And Roxy was brought by František. Thank you, František. Now Curly, thank you, Curly, introduced us to her favorite alternative celebrity called Jay. Sussex? Essex. Jay. So, and that is just something like a genie coming out of the bottle. We possibly can get, we want to get together with all these people we love. Like Bashar's channeler, Derry Lanka, we love him.
Oh, yeah.
There are a few other Adonis channeled by Brad Johnson.
I have a few channels that I listen to that might be interested in the stuff that we do.
Kennedy, thank you. What's the name of Kennedy? Someone can indeed.
And Treb by Rob.
Yeah, Treb you already know. Yes.
Yes, Treb knows us. I was on his radio show.
Who
and
introduced us to Treb?
That was Sabrina, I think.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Wendy Kennedy works with the 9th Dimensional Pleiadian Collective.
Wow. 9th dimensional.
So now these guys are. I mean, there was a groundbreaking movie called Tune In. Spirit Channelers in America.
Yes.
And it featured 5 great channelers. All of them are very respected by me, and they're good. Very different, but they give the same message. Now they make the next movie, may start in making the next movie under Daryl Anka, I think, is driving that effort. And there will be more channelers there. And there are a few other movies with channelers. So we want to be part of that crowd.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the name of that first movie slowly?
Tuning, T-U-N-I-N-G, Tuning In, I-N.
Thank you. Thank you. First.
Channels in America. It's on YouTube for free access. And it's posted on our site as well. I posted about 4 weeks ago.
Oh. Okay.
But I should repost it. Tuning in. Repost.
You guys are on to something.
Hmm?
All right, so
Something big.
yeah, of course. I mean, you know,
Yes.
that's given.
This is wonderful.
There is a site, lightworkers.org, I think, which publishes lots of text channelings. So there is a lot of channelers, like more like homemade channelers who are not brave enough to show their videos, but they are real channelers. They just do texts. They kind of record and then they type it, or type it directly. Channel typing, some of that sort. Jim, we need to learn channel typing.
Dear friends.
What's your typical message? Woo-ha!
Yes. I knew how to spell woo-ha. I guess I could do it phonetically.
Yeah. W-O-O-H-A.
Yeah. W-O-O-H-A. Woo-ha.
What's the next step? Suppose we meet Jay and other nice people. What's the next step? It took me a few hours to think about that.
But the next step is to get them to channel live like everybody else. So I think to show their talents and put their message out there, that what they get from the aliens, because it could be like life-saving to somebody. Like I never thought of anything that I could ever channel or say would be helpful to anybody, but as much as I am finding out that it is, it's like amazingly helpful to some people, and I don't even know it. So
Jim can answer the question.
But the answer was to your own question.
Okay.
You said how to help people who are not celebrities to start channeling. Yes, of course, that's what we do already.
Sure.
But now we have a celebrity who already has their own television program on YouTube or elsewhere.
okay,
What do we do with those? How do we...
we asked permission to use their messages. Nope.
Yeah.
What'd you do then?
Well, let's see what Safira says.
Why is it a quiz?
Yes, it is a tweet. I mean, the challenge. Let's go. The challenge. It took me a few hours to figure it out.
Okay, I was going to ask for a clarification when you said what's the next step, and Jim said to channel live. I was thinking, you mean the celebrities? So yes, the celebrities should come and do hangouts with us. We can invite them. It would be awesome.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Hangouts. Yes.
Yes.
Hang out.
What
Right.
Roxy does? Roxy is a celebrity. And
Yes.
She is
She's well
having
accepted.
fun with our crowd.
Oh yes, she is very, and she's so in tune with a lot of things. So she's very good. I like her a lot. So I actually want to do a channeling with her. So
You mean a private session or to channel together with her publicly?
either way,
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
whatever.
Something spiritual, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Just make it pretty obvious when you're going to do it together, because that would be so awesome to watch. Publicize it.
We had one experience where we brought together 3 channelers, and initially it was different races, and because they're from different galactic alliances, they couldn't even speak to each other because there is a protocol where they can't say much. Because they're not authorized officially.
Yeah, protocol. Yeah.
So there was no protocol for two different political parties to speak to human audience. They were kind of saying polite things, but there was no information exchange. And then
we're gonna break down those barriers.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And then we invited 3 from the same alliance, like all Lyrans from Girk Fitneer. And again, they didn't say much because they said, after you, you're so nice, you're so nice. So they didn't say anything. So the way to break these barriers is to give them a topic and to have we need help from them. They're not brought here just to be nice. They're brought here to help us. And we could help them in any way possible. So we want to increase the contact. And what we're doing is the contact right now. We want the contact to become bigger.
Well, the reason why you didn't get any information is because they were talking to each other and they all knew the same stuff, and they weren't talking to us.
Yes.
So what it is when you bring all those channelers together, they'll talk to each other. They won't be talking to us.
Yeah.
They'll be talking to each other and saying, hi, how you doing, and this is the protocol for that and all that.
Yeah.
So it's better one-on-one in some ways, unless there is a topic that needs to be discussed. But if they're discussing it between themselves, they'll use different words and different thought patterns, and we won't get it. So
exactly. So we need the audience, and we'll have multiple channels like Roxy and Jim, and answering the same question. And what's the meaning of life?
So it would be like an interview. That would be the only way to do it.
So audience, channelers.
Right.
Yes.
So you're going to interview more than one alien through a channel.
So we get the perspective from different extraterrestrial angles on the same question.
Yes. Yes. That's kind of like the movie Tuning In. That's wonderful, Max.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I also had an idea. When Sabrina was channeling her Arcturian friend the other day, I got a kind of a loose translation of what they were saying, and I wrote it down on the side. And then I actually asked the Arcturian, Ahakana, was her name. I think it's a her. And I read her my interpretation and asked if it was accurate, and she said, yeah, pretty much, pretty close, not everything. But one idea that I came up with, or that I thought I was hearing, is to have a convention. So I'm going to put that out there now. We will have a convention of all of us who speak different languages, and we invite that we're speaking of, like Jay and Roxy and Jim.
You know what? Channelers should have a convention as well.
That's what I'm just saying. So we have a convention with all the channelers, and not only ours, but those who you're talking about, the bigger ones. Not bigger, but you know what I mean. The more experienced ones. And our own, and people who speak the languages, and it's going to be either in Arizona or Rochester, right? Or maybe in Bryanstown.
Wherever there's a big enough facility.
Yeah, in Bryanstown we'll have it. He'll be the host. Anyway.
We'll have it in your garage.
Yeah. So
organizing conventions is art. And
it is.
It is. Business.
Not easy.
Thing.
Not easy.
It's possible.
But the problem there, which I came across, is you bring the channelers and the crowd comes, but you have to pay the channelers, you pay accommodations, and you never know how many tickets you will sell, right?
I don't think it should be so monetarily based. I think it should just be a gathering, like a big hangout together. I wasn't thinking now all of this cost and everything.
Like a channeling Woodstock or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Really, seriously, without the old paradigm of we've got to pay them and they're going to charge that much for their hour. And blah, blah,
we'll have
blah.
a little mud pit for the reptilians to roll around in.
I was thinking more that way, Max. We've got to think way beyond the.
Maybe we still
have it donation based, but have it where you at least cover their expenses for traveling expenses.
Yes. The very first thing you have to do is find
Why?
out.
They're just people who are
But still,
channeling.
it's out of their own money for those channelers that decide to drive or fly. Still, some part needs a donation base to at least or something to give to cover their expenses, though.
I agree, because when you first do this, the very first thing you have to do is find out who's interested.
Yes.
Find out what channelers would be interested in doing this, and if you don't hear anything back, you know they're not interested. So, but if you hear something back, you know that there's a glimmer of hope. But that would be the very first thing to do, is to get a list of channelers and send that out and see who's willing. Because if you're going to advertise something like that, you have to say who's coming.
Yes.
Advertisement is also money.
Yes. You have to say who's coming.
I have been in a,
Let me just finish with the topic by saying it's an idea for the future. I think first, when you and Max meet all these different channelers and make a relationship with them, then it will be possible to do something like that. Not just out of the cold blue like this, but I'm talking something down the road. I'm
in this show business for a while. Before I was in that show business for channeling, I was in show business for Russian alternative song. And I'm kind of a fan, but I always kind of am on this side of this stage and also on the other side of the stage. I meet my favorite singers, and I understand, I look at that. I didn't know why I was interested, but now I understand why I was interested. I have to understand their mechanics of the bringing the crowd, for Beatles to bring that crowd of people, what is involved to make it happen. If nobody knows about the event, they wouldn't come. So advertising is a huge thing. Some of it can be advertised on the internet for free, but again, it's more than that. It's kind of growing a tree. So we have that community of Russian singers, alternative singers in America. It's more like Woodstock's type of thing, and we have gatherings in the forests and campgrounds, pretty inexpensive to organize because people camp there. I don't know if Lightworkers can camp, because many of Lightworkers are retirement age, and not many are capable of camping. So another thing is bringing the people on stage, and Bashar is used to work on stage, but also he would do it like several times a year, and he would do the whole hour and a half in a row or hour in a row of himself. Now, if you bring, like, for singers, it's easier. They kind of sing their 3 songs and they're done. But for channelers, they really need their time. So like for gym, it would be like 2 hours of gym, then 2 hours of other channel, 2 hours of other channelers. So it becomes quite an event. It's can be overwhelming for many. Now, the alternative way of doing it is traveling groups. Like, you can't really get any crowd in Rochester. Gym is here for free. Like every Saturday it's for free, and we get like 1 or 2 people. Initially there was more, but basically not that many people are interested in channeling in Rochester, and we know all of them, and they're busy with their lives, and they can watch it afterwards and record. Why do they need to come? Now, bigger cities, like we have Toronto nearby, New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and a few other cities like Pittsburgh. This would collect some of the crowd, but the crowd again would be like maybe 15 to 30 people. So bringing 3 channelers to satisfy 30 people, I don't know how practical it is. Also, I just discovered that that's what I find from people who are the singers. The main thing is, like, why Beatles kept it 4 people, not 8. They could make great music with 8, but 8 people don't fit in a van, and most of their initial career was in a van. So they became Beatles because they were in a van for 8 years straight, maybe 6 years straight, and then they started flying. So Russian singers, they come for money. They do these things, and it barely pays for their expenses, and it's a lot of stress to travel across America. But they travel across all major cities, and they have concerts, each of them with 20 to 40 people, and they charge about $15 to $20, and that's how they make their living. That's what they do. I mean, they come and sing there. And what Bashar does, and a few other professional channels, well, that's what they do. That's their living. Bashar means Sri Lanka. Next, the main key thing here is the smaller the traveling group, the cheaper the expenses, because staying in a hotel and traveling, it's all money. They fly, they drive, it's all money. So it's professional thing, and I certainly don't want to organize it, and I don't want to how do you say, people without experience to organize it. That was kind of Russian singers, but I know that's the same kind of crowd as Lightworkers. That's called not festivals, retreats. It's called retreats. Lightworker retreats is what happens all the time. Dolphin retreats, channeling, meditation, Reiki. So these are our venues. Basically, if they already have a way to bring people in for Bashar, they would have a venue to bring people in for Bashar plus Roxy plus Jim plus others. So that is how I see that, and I wouldn't reinvent the wheel. I would just go with existing conventions. Typically, it's a nice place in a nice spiritual. It's like kind of a housing, would be like wooden houses, like a retreat place. It has food, it has everything, and some of them are very expensive. Like in Rochester, we have this Gossamer Woods, which can host about, I would say, 10 people coming in. So these are like hosting maybe 100 people in mountains and by the lake and some pristine places. So we don't really have to reinvent that. It's already invented for us. We just need to help channelers to join that crowd of channelers and hang out with them together. But what we can do is to do our online hangouts, which are new. Thanks Google for this opportunity which is doing right now. Google Hangouts help us to do it for free, and that's where we start.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, Max, thank you. That is your opinion on it, and I appreciate it. I don't accept it as the final word. So I don't really want to be rolled over with, let's not reinvent the wheel and we do it that way or this way, because I think we never know when people hear this message or some other people get the same idea, so what can be organized and created from it. That's all I want to say about that. But thank you. Anyway, it's a future idea, so it's nothing. We don't have to start organizing.
Jay's reality and Roxy is a reality. Jay is open to speak to us, so what do we do with Jay and Roxy?
I'm talking about the convention idea. I'm sorry I brought it up. Even it was just some future concept. That's all.
I'm not sorry you brought it up. I think it's a good idea for the future.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Like next week?
No, not that soon. No, not that soon. I don't think we're established enough to do it that soon.
No.
I think that you need some time and thought before you can do something like that.
Oh, I already thought about it.
Yeah, but we need to think about it as a group.
Oh, let's think about that as a group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which was what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Think about what I said. I mean, it's all pretty straightforward. You just need to research that. It's kind of already existing path which you just research and go on that path. It's obvious.
Okay.
I know. I was speaking about that half a year ago. I asked people to invite us, and so far it wasn't successful, mostly because we weren't ready. But I think we are much closer to being ready.
I do too. And people seem to think that we're going to start to be invited to go places. So we'll see what happens.
We have Toronto nearby, so we're discussing what crowd can we bring to Toronto.
So what is happening with Jay? Does anybody, Curly, introduced you to him?
I'm going to call him this afternoon.
Okay. And
Curly has his number and he wants to talk to us.
About a possible meeting?
I'm not satisfied. I'm sorry. You said that our ideas have to. Please speak more. Let's resolve this. There is a clear conflict here. Let's resolve it. I love you, Saphira. You're bright and you can think that through. Please do that.
I love you too.
I like the colors on your how do you call it in the women's
Blouse.
blouse. Yes.
It's my Hawaiian shirt.
And I like the. Did you change the camera? You now have on today you have a proper color of your surroundings. Is it the same camera you used before?
It's the same camera. I just have the. It's a time of day. I think the lighting's good.
Oh, lighting is good. Yes.
No, there's the only.
Let's pronounce it. The disagreement is you say it has to be for free, and I say let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's follow existing path where it's charged and paid for people travel and expenses and advertisement. That's our disagreement. Let's pronounce it. Do you agree that it is our disagreement?
I'm not. Let me put it this I'm not laughing. Well, you know, I laugh a lot, so it's not. I'm not laughing at anybody. I like to laugh a lot, and sometimes I laugh when I'm a little bit unsure what to say. So please don't take my laughing as laughing at anybody. So that's the first thing. Okay, so is I don't totally disagree. I just don't want to be told how it has to be done. And I liked your idea about the retreat. I think we can have one big camping meeting, maybe just for our members at first, and invite people we know, and then we can think down the road when you guys make it's all relationship based. If you make a good relationship with Jay and Treb and whoever else we want to make a good relationship with, when it comes time to saying, hey, why don't we all make a little like you know, with those new age conventions or psychic fairs or, you know, that kind of thing with channelers and people who speak languages, they'll all find a way to do it together because the relationship is strong. So I wasn't suggesting we do a convention now, but it was an idea that I got for the future. And whether we reinvent the wheel or not, I think the wheel needs to be reinvented in some ways. And in other ways, why make too much work when it's already there? So I do get your point. I'm thinking more camping, Woodstock, like Jim said, kind of a thing, rather than a big official meeting.
Okay, so your idea is different. I was thinking about the stage and the public. You're saying, how about we just hang out together and forget about the public? That can be great if it is broadcasted.
I don't mean totally forgetting about the public either. I guess I'm looking at a hybrid of the two. Let's use the word hybrid. That's a good word for us to use. A hybrid of the old paradigm of such things, bringing it together with a, you know, like Woodstock and, you know, what's a more high-level paradigm of such conventions?
But there was
performance. Woodstock versus performance.
Something like that. And well, Woodstock had performances too. It was just more.
They also have a kind of distributed crowd where they also stand by the fire.
And I personally feel that no one channeler is more a celebrity or more important than another, and I think that at some point, it would be nice if they would be willing to just be there, without thinking I have to be paid for something. Like it should be, in my opinion, some kind of a voluntary, fun, giving to each other, community kind of experience, and that was my idea about it. But you know, we could have different types of meetings. One more public and, you know, ticket based, and one more just being together based. I mean, why should we pay for it? If somebody wants,
it's like a party, like hangout. Yes, hanging out at a nice place and just forget about everything. Yeah. Yeah. So, Ginsburg. You know, Allen Ginsberg is one of my heroes. You know Allen Ginsberg, right? Allen Ginsberg?
Yeah, I've heard the name. I don't remember the connection.
He's a beatnik, one of the most famous of beatniks before hippies.
Oh, okay.
With a beard.
Okay.
Yeah, he did this kind of hangouts. He participated, was invited, but he also kind of created a commune, just bought a house, a property, a house at a nice forest, and they just hang out together, you know, anytime they could. Not very far from New York City, so they kind of just go there and hang out there. So that kind of hangout you're thinking about. Just, you know, find a cheap, you know, that Gossamer Woods would be great for in Rochester. We can get it almost for free, and it can fit about a pretty nice crowd. It's up to maybe 20 guests. Some of this can stay in our houses. So yes, we can invite our friends to visit Rochester and hang out here.
And there's a huge vortex, more than one vortex there.
In Arizona, I want to visit Arizona. If anybody pays my ticket, I'm there tomorrow.
You know,
Arizona, wonderful.
now I feel bad because, you know, I said to you almost from the beginning when I started coming to Human Colony in January that I was going to try and get you guys out here, right? And then there was Alaric, and then Alaric kind of broke up his center, but he still uses it for something. Know that he recently offered it to you guys for free if you get here.
Yes, yes.
And
Yes.
I had wait. Let me finish. So, I had asked him about in January actually asked him if he and I could work together to bring you guys out here, and maybe he was involved in too many things. I didn't get an answer, so I don't have the money to bring you guys out here, and if I did, I would like immediately. So I'm sorry about that. And you know, it just takes. Well, yeah, because I said I would, and then I thought I had different connections, and then those connections kind of fizzled out a little bit here and there. I got totally overwhelmed by some crisis, family stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I apologize for that. But, yeah,
No
I
problem.
wish that you could both get out here right away.
Yeah, everything will happen. Everything will happen in its time.
Yeah,
It might not have been the right time, and I'm a big believer of the law of attraction, as you know, and I think that we'll be there when we were supposed to be there, and not a minute or too soon or a minute too late. So don't worry about that. It wasn't anything of your doing. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, we just had the first
Thank you.
last weekend. We have been visited by our friend Jeannie, and part of that is on video. I will post it as soon as I can.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome.
It was great. We had nice spiritual hangout, and
yes,
there was no hangover.
No hangover. No.
Oh, how do you both feel with your fifth dimensional energy now, with your initiation?
I feel very different.
It was highest point of just it was a top.
We got reconnection attunements on the summer equinox, summer solstice.
And we visited a couple of spiritual places and had.
We had meditation in a couple of very wonderful areas of the very just surrounded by nature, and you know that there had to be like elves and wood nymphs there, so it was just that kind of a place.
And they made weather incredibly good.
The weather was unbelievable for Rochester.
Awesome.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, not a bit of humidity, hardly. Very sunny, beautiful, a few clouds, a little breeze. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not like Rochester at all.
And
So
Lakesh enjoyed some of that.
Lakesh was called to the beach. We got Lakesh on the beach. Some of
Really?
you know about that already. Brian knows about that already, don't you, Brian?
Yes, a little bit. That's wonderful because it allows him to feel what it is to be human on this planet. So it's wonderful. Yes.
He did like insects.
He did not like insects. So.
So what happened? You channeled him and you went to the beach and you played with the sand and everything? Jim?
No.
How did that happen?
Oh yes, he played with the sand too. Yes. It was
Oh.
What is that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because
Yeah.
he doesn't step on the sand.
Yeah, he glides over.
So
Okay, to get back to outreach, if I might, so because it's 12 o'clock your time. Okay, outreach. So you're going to contact Jay, right, Jim, this afternoon?
Yes.
For possible meeting.
Yes, try to get in touch with Jay. I don't know where part of the world he's in.
Okay.
Texas.
He's in Texas. Okay.
And so, Max, you would like to. Oh, in Texas. Okay. And Max, you would like to encourage people listening to this to.
Yes.
Want to make connections between you and.
Yes, it's very nice when nice people introduce us. It kind of opens a lot of doors. And then it's up to me, Jim, and mostly Jim to become friends with them. We have common goals and common tools to reach these goals.
Right. Now that's the thing with this publication called with Jamie and Misty, right? They've contacted us. You know that about the interview.
Oh yes, Jamie and Misty. Yes, I just got something from them. We just got something from them.
Yeah, we just got something from Jamie, who said that she's still delayed.
That she'd like to meet in the middle of July.
Right. So what I'm saying is, even though we don't, that doesn't seem like a big deal, maybe, but we don't know. That could lead to something incredible.
Yes. Yeah. And Jamie, or one of them, is in Rochester.
Right. Jamie is. Yeah.
And we can meet them face to face.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I wrote her a letter about that. I think it went to her spam because she didn't write me back. I don't think she knows that yet, even though I wrote her. I think my letter went to spam. But anyway, so there's that. That's coming up in July, and then, yeah, it'll happen. It'll all happen.
Another channel I would like to meet is Sean Swanson.
Sean Swanson. Swanson, as in the TV dinner.
Uh-huh. Two channels Yahyel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another channel I like is Destiny from South Africa.
Destiny?
Uh-huh, Destiny.
I'd like to meet some of these other channels. I think there's a lot more channelers out there than we know about. So
I'm talking about the ones with huge number of views.
Oh yeah.
The ones which are around for a long time, which are already integrated with the community.
Okay.
There is like hundreds and hundreds, yes, maybe thousands and thousands.
So may I be so audacious as to suggest we move on to the next?
No, I was waiting for you to finish.
Okay.
I have nothing else on this topic. Thank you for bringing us back to the topic. Yes. So we need to structure that somehow. Suppose right now we have Roxy and Jay who might want to hang out with us. So we need to structure those hangouts. And we understand now we need a crowd and people answer. Jay is not a channeler, he's a psychic. So we can have a Jim as a psychic. I don't think a psychic and a channeler, at least in the beginning, I wouldn't see them working together well. So maybe Jim can work in his psychic capacity without necessarily going on the other side. So the difference is, in one case, it's we directly speak to Lakesh and Tucker. In another case, Jim asks the question and gets the answer and translates it to us without leaving his body, basically. And it all comes to scheduling. So when do we invite Jay?
Well, I'll talk to him today, and we'll see what's going on.
So you just find a nice time for Roxy and Jay to hang out, and we invite the crowd, and that would be tremendously nice.
Then now he has his own crowd and YouTube and everything.
Yeah, but yes.
Okay.
Yes, but and yes. So yes, but meaning we invite him to our crowd,
right.
And yes, it's you go to their crowd.
Right.
Max.
Merging the crowd is not. We are not there yet.
Right.
Max, do you want the questions to be open-ended questions, like any question, or would you like to have a theme that you guys come up with, like some topics that they can see from their perspectives, each channel?
All right, I'm overly critical today. Sophia argues with me, and you asked me for directions. Both are not whatever.
Max, never an argument. It is never an argument. We always agree to disagree in love. That's all it is, baby.
Thank you, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian. You're in the middle of the conflict, and it makes you.
No conflict. There's no conflict.
I never take it personally.
No, he's just being funny.
So, what is there? How do you structure it? I don't know. Obviously, asking what is my percent of my Lyran DNA is not appropriate for that crowd. I guess we should work in advance on the questions, and then the questions have to be live, obviously. So I would say we post it as a post, and then we invite questions and comments, so for people to prepare, basically, what questions are better than others. And then when it starts, we come and ask questions.
Somebody's calling you.
No, it's Oh, yeah, I think it's Brian's background.
Yeah, I think they're calling Dad back there.
Yeah, it's my son. So it's okay.
I have a question. Who did we say is going to head up the Hangout? Or did we say Hangouts are going to fall under channeling section or the education section, or what did we decide on that?
Broadcast committee, which is now renamed to Hucolo TV. It's Gordon is now managing that.
Okay, so maybe Gordon can work together with Jim and you about, you know, these guests coming to do Hangouts, right?
Excellent idea.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Because I think Jim's too busy to organize when and where and how, but if Gordon and you and Jim work together on such special Hangouts, then...
I was suggesting let's just pick a regular time. Maybe we can do it on Saturday. Just if we have a guest, we just invite him to Saturday.
Yeah.
Could do.
Well,
yeah. Yes, we have every Saturday, blah, blah, blah. And if they are not comfortable with 10 a.m. New York time, we can move it a little bit. But I think it's just the easiest. The crowd is already there, so it's easier. So if Roxy and Jay are willing to come, that would be the most convenient, first thing we propose. Okay. And if it's not convenient, then we kind of work out the new date.
Okay.
I mean, it's between you and Jay. I'll find the time to organize. If not me, then somebody else will host it. But most likely it would be me hosting.
Okay.
The thing with the Saturday webinars, in my opinion, is they're extremely awesome, and there's a wonderful energy and love there. They tend to be quite formal, and it would be nice to have maybe one formal, a little more formal atmosphere. The Hangouts are quite informal, and a lot comes out because they're informal. So,
we'll dress casual.
Huh?
We'll dress casual.
Well, I'm going to try to hit some more Hangouts. The Hangout that I was in yesterday was awesome. I had a really... Yeah. Was it okay, Brian? I mean...
I have to say, they love you there. They love you in the Hangouts and Roxy and all of you, because you give us a different perspective that we're not looking at, and it helps with some of our issues that we go personally. You know what I mean? Some of our internal issues that we have as, our families and stuff. So when you show up sometimes, it really brings out the best in us. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. That was a nice thing to say. That was a nice thing to say. Thank you. But I had a great time on it. It was fun.
And let me remind you, when Jim speaks something smart or spiritual, press this broadcast button. If it's not recorded, it's selfish. Collective selfish. These 10 people who are there selfishly not publish it. Let's share.
Yeah, if I had known about it, I would have joined too, Brian. Because I love
it wasn't in channel. It was just for Jim being Jim, allowing him to be him.
Mm-hmm.
But Jim has a lot of wisdom without channeling, right, Jim?
Yeah. And he can even interpret Arcturian, which is incredible.
There are sometimes. I don't do it all the time. They don't give me the answer all the time, but I do get it sometimes. So.
Sometimes it's your physical mind. Actually.
Somebody just came in.
Yeah, it's our cat. She says,
oh, it's Cat.
Move on your agenda, he says. All right.
Jim, have you thought about the channeling committee? How you see that happening? Who you see it happening? Helping you with that?
The channeling committee is going to. We'll probably get together and just discuss when we're going to do hangouts and things of that nature, so that it can be broadcast.
Oh, that's Gordon's.
Oh, okay.
Thing.
Well, I'll get with
I was
Gordon.
thinking about channeling to. Oh, I don't know. It's you decide what you do with channel, but broadcasting is already taken care of by Gordon's.
Okay, but a lot of things aren't being broadcast right now.
It's more like channeling talents, which I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Channeling talents and just channelers are prophets.
Prophets, yes.
Yeah, so it's more like just having them to. The problem with the channelers, they're kind of individuals and they're not connected well to each other. We have Sabrina and Jaguar and a few others who started channeling.
Mm-hmm. And Lakesh came through Sabrina the other day.
Oh. So I was thinking that you guys have to coordinate to each other, be more connected, because right now you're connected less.
Yes. So, yeah, that'll be good. I'll get in touch with Sabrina. We'll talk and see what the best way to do that is.
Yeah, just have a sort of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sabrina and Jaguar have a pretty nice channeling relationship when they hang out together in the Hangouts, and I see that. And so you mean Sabrina channeled Lakesh in the unrecorded Hangout? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, with Gabriel.
Oh, darn it, man.
He came through for about 3 minutes, but he
Yeah.
didn't like her body.
Oh.
He kept saying, I don't like this body, and Gabriel told me that she was, because, you know, Lakesh comes into the whole body.
Yeah.
So, and he complained about the body, and so he didn't stay.
Oh.
But he did come in for about 3 minutes, and...
Yeah, that's why Lakesh doesn't come to my body.
I don't know, he likes me. He likes coming into me, I guess. Okay.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, it sounds like a really exciting thing that happened yesterday. Too bad it wasn't
Well,
here.
I didn't see it or hear it,
Yeah.
but the Lakesh thing, but I did a channel session with Gabriel, and so he told me about it.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And he's started speaking Arcturian.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the agenda was talking about the teams and the channeling team. I guess, Jim, you're gonna, as far as
Yes, I have to get something together. I have to think about what I want to do with that. Yeah.
okay. So we talked about the welcoming and the outreach team, right?
Yes.
And
Okay.
the other team was education, which I would like to. I mean, there's some other people who've already said they want to work together. So the thing is this: that Hangouts and education and meditation group that's now in the Reiki healing meditation group that's now in under groups, it's all education. So it's all overlapping. So are the Hangouts and channeling. It's all overlapping languages, which is also education. I'm thinking more like to ask you, Jim, to like do a series on Lightworker, the Lightworker manual, you know, Lightworker training and things, some kind of a series, because we have so much education in so many different forms.
Oh yeah, there is. There's a lot of different, and much of the time, it would appear to me that the aliens are doing a lot of one-on-one light trainer working with those people that have sessions with.
Yeah.
So they're encouraging the youth to bring out their talents and raise their vibrations and ground and this and that and the other thing, and they're giving them the ways to do all these things, and it could help others if they could see those sessions. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway,
one-on-one, it's very educational.
Yes.
More than with group, much more than with group.
I'm sure. Yeah, so I have to also think about education. What's the best way to do that?
Let's think about formats. One of that is that application format which Peter is developing. So the Wikipedia. Slava now wrote a chapter on Yahyel, which is very nice. Now we need to write several more chapters and kind of work on them together.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean, like? Yeah, that's under. I know that app we talked about presenting different cultures and languages, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is very educational right there. So I don't know if maybe we don't need an education thing. I just had ideas.
No, there is
there is a need for it.
Component there which we can develop there.
Okay.
The formats. I mean, you can present the same information as video kind of unrehearsed, and then you can have sort of more structured kind of lecture thing, right?
Would you prefer sticking just to the video, or would you even think about internet radio?
Oh, whatever's easier for people to want to
radio is a dying component.
Okay.
Why would you hide your face? I mean, radio is just a video with face hidden.
Okay.
Some people do radio, but it's not my favorite. I try. I mean, if I don't if I cannot gesture, people don't understand me. My accent doesn't go through radio really well.
Okay.
That's why I can't do anything with radio.
Well, Safira, I
Yes,
would
sir.
get for education some topics like we were talking relationships yesterday.
Yes, relations.
Relationships is an awesome topic for education.
Yes.
Light workership. Am I grounded is a great topic.
Mhm.
And there's many ways to tell if you're not grounded, and many ways to tell if you are grounded. So, grounding is probably the number one the biggest problem that I see among the young right now, because they start in fourth dimension and they can't relate to the third dimension.
Yes.
And so grounding is a great educational topic.
It
And
is.
I'm sure that you can think of other topics like that. And am I fourth dimensional, or what dimension am I in? Some people don't even know. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this kind of education is not exactly textbook, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's not
I do.
exactly things that are out there that you can readily get a hold of. Because how
Yeah.
many books are there out there that said, am I really a third dimensional being? You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
it's a real problem, because
Right.
some kids start in the fourth dimension and have to deal with the third dimension, and they don't know how. They
Yeah.
can't relate. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Finding
Well-
many of those.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Jim. A few months ago, Liney started a little discussion group on Hucolo, after you said in one of your Saturday channelings that you'd like to start a group to discuss this. And I put a whole series of points in there, what would be in this book. It was about you writing your book. And I had listed chapters, what would be good chapters.
Oh,
So
good.
I have to find that again and use those as the points that you're talking about, plus you've added a few more here. So yeah.
So,
Now,
Another one good point would be health and aliens.
mhm.
Health and aliens would be, why do we have to be healthy? Keep ourselves in a healthy position, because the aliens are coming. And we're
Yes.
going to need to be healthy to be able to continue our work. And I think keeping yourself in a good shape is very important for the future.
yes, me too.
So, and I have to work on that more myself. But it is one of the topics that would be very educational.
Awesome.
So
That's
how do you
great.
structure the book? Structure the technical part of working on the book.
Mm-hmm.
How do you? Posts are great, but they kind of temporary. They go in the archive and you never see them again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So WordPress has that option of creating pages and hierarchical structure of pages.
I don't know how to work
I
with that.
recommend to work with everything together. So posts are nice, people see them, but then if you write some part of the book, then you want to give it a permanent place. So these are called pages. Understand? I think I lost
Yeah,
one.
I may not know how to set that up because I'm just slightly better than Jim at computer.
I'm sharing the screen with you, and as usual, you see me disappearing there. So the posts, you add a post, and that's a temporary thing.
Right, that I got. Yeah.
That's a temporary thing. It has a date, and it'll go in order. All right? And you also can create a page. You click on this plus thing, and you can create a page. And that's a structured thing, and they can be nested one under another. And they can go into menus. Let me show. So these are menus here, menus. See, and some of them have under menus, and these can have more under menus, and some of them can have also the structured like on them. So book 1, book 3, blah blah blah. So you can put the whole table of contents right here, and then link to the different chapters here. That's how it is done. Now you get it?
Yeah, that's cool.
So as you write the book, As you write the book, you kind of do a structure and write it right there on the side. And that's the goal.
Yes,
You
good.
see? And it has different things here, and it has all the structure. Chapter 1, blah, 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 and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you write books. Technically. And in group setting, you might also use Google Drive, where you can edit the same page by multiple people can edit the same page at the same time. So Google Drive is something for you to experience. I can show you a little bit of it. I can create a page, a Google Drive document. I mean, it requires people to be little kind of working together, but basically you write thing, and multiple people can edit the same text. It's online. It's Google document. They can edit the same text at the same time. You invite the co-authors, and that's how we scientists and we writers, collective writers, write books and papers. Like say Richard Dolan wrote, famous UFO researcher, wrote his latest book in co-authorship with another gentleman. Like that, just in Google Documents, they wrote the same book, just together editing each other texts. And some of our technical guys like Gordon, they love Google Documents. So that's the way to go. That is a beautiful way of collaborating on writing stuff. Another method is writing is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is also allows you to create structured thing and edit it by multiple people. So I would, as an action item, I would recommend you to get in touch with 𝗧𝗧, which is very technically advanced. And he wrote several things. He's really knowledgeable. He knows all that stuff. He knows. He wrote amazing reviews about different star nations and races and civilizations. And just get it going together with 𝗧𝗧. Starseed Apprentice is kind of in the background, but he is also very knowledgeable. He could contribute a lot.
Thank you.
And obviously, when we started created structure, our alien friends, we will invite them and ask them to give their lecture on their civilization. Lyrans, they already gave us a lot of lectures, but our shame, we lost all of that in the archives. Like there is a history of Lyran civilization. They told us a lot about their physiology, their family life. So some people who watched everything, they might remember we have all of that, but it's not in one place. And one of the ways to bring it in one place, just ask them, please tell us again.
Well, unfortunately, yesterday was not a live hangout because I went over a lot of the Kesha civilization stuff, a lot, and his whole lifestyle and everything. So
now we need to do it on air, and that would be a summary, comprehensive summary.
It turned out to be pretty hilarious, actually. So, so, but anyway, no, he has a really unique and wonderful lifestyle. So, and that was covered, and everybody's going, ooh and ah, that's the way it should be. So, Here, I think it is for you to guide that thing because you're organized and you can drive it, lead it. Get in touch with people, Gordon, 𝗧𝗧, Starseed Apprentice, and Jim, and let's organize. And Dan is exceptionally great in organizing. Dan is making notes on all videos, and Taylor can compile. If Dan gives Taylor, I mean, remember that Dan knows where things are, and 𝗧𝗧 knows. 𝗧𝗧 also did the annotation of the video. They know where things are. And Taylor volunteered to compile things. So when you know where things are, forward it to Taylor and say, here, all these pieces from videos tell about Lyran civilization. Please compile the video on Lyran. That would be incredible. Yeah. That's the way to go.
Thank you.
I'm surprised not more than 2 people showed up. Is there something wrong, maybe?
Maybe other way around. Maybe we get help from above to get things going. When we have small committee, we can actually get to action items.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Max, you said that at 12:30 you wanted to go private with something.
Yes, there is some personal, not mine, but somebody else's personal thing which we need to discuss.
Okay, so should we close the official meeting now, or what do you think? It's 12:30.
Well, we didn't say anything about the elections. Vote, vote, vote.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, okay.
We'll discuss it in a second. I will discuss it. I just want to...
I'm just thinking, Jim, if you have an appointment soon, I'm worried about the time. Are you okay on the
At 2 o'clock, I have a Reiki.
Okay. So it's 12:30, and you need to eat before then, right? Probably?
Oh,
Yes.
It's important for me to eat,
I will
yes.
start boiling the pasta. It's already boiling. I just need to put the thing.
So let's try and give Jim an hour break from 1 to 2.
Yes, yes. Just a second. So
Yeah.
created... so site administration is for administrators. Let me share the screen.
Thank you.
And I'll go into the elections just briefly. Sharing the screen. So, so let's review our groups. Welcome parts we discussed. Light language team. I recommend to rename it to Galactic Languages and have it focused on Galactic languages because light language is a very specific subset of Galactic languages. Organizing committees, it's us. Site administration, it's me and Slava and other helpers. Healing and Reiki Share is the group to discuss healings and organize healing webinars. I want to do a healing webinar sometime very soon. Music Club is wonderful. I invite people from Music Club to offer their music to video editing team for their videos. Google Drive is a great place for collaboration and writing. Drawings is part of collecting the drawings of the aliens and annotating them, basically asking the aliens who is who, and that would help our educational program, especially the application and Wikipedia, sort of Exopedia sort of thing. Hucolo TV team is a new name for our broadcasting committee, led by Gordon and held by Tyler, who would decide, and coordinate things. Channeled energy team, Jim, it's for you to connect channelers and train channelers. ExoWiki team is application created by Peter, video editing Tyler, and book club is to share books, PDFs by others. And now let me announce the elections. So elections...
At the top of the page. Or
yes, it's right here, and also it's right here, and if you click on home, there is an invitation to elections. Vote now. And here is the page. Finally, blah, 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 announced. Here is instructions. What happens after the elections, the procedures. And if you go to elections page now from here, so that's basically instructions. And elections page is, we have 16 people. Thank you, everybody, for self-nominating. Thanks, Slava, for a nice picture. Last moment we get it. Beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for everybody who joined. And please read there. Slava, you need to get links here. So here you see the link, and here the link is lost. So one person lost the link, but we know Jaguar. The link is to application page where they kind of wrote the application letter, application nomination, self-nomination. And then you vote, say vote for, okay, it's safe to say vote for Jim and Sephira. And then you say, pick, I suggest pick about 8. You can pick, vote for everybody, but please don't vote for people who you don't know. And that would be a safety net, safety precautions, so bad guys don't get elected. If you have any information by negatives like mafia and terrorism and military-industrial complex, they will be cut off right here. So research people, go to the applications and fill the energies with your heart and pick best. I recommend 8, but you can vote for any number, and then say vote. And if you want to redo your vote, just say change the vote, and then you kind of start over. And you have 10 days until July 4th. That's about it.
Thank you, Mac.
That's how it works. And now we're ready for our closing blessing, and then we go to private things.
Okay. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome.
Hi,
Hey,
Caitlin.
everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
We're just
Am I late?
a little.
We're close. You can stay for
the private session, yes.
Private part of the.
Oh, okay.
Are you
Okay,
ready to
thank
give
you.
us a blessing, Caitlin?
Do you want to give us a blessing?
I've never given a blessing before. I'm sorry.
All right, then prepare for some other time.
Okay.
Is Brian?
Brian?
Brian, are you good?
What's that?
You should do that.
Brian, you want to give us a blessing to close the meeting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
I call upon God, Goddess, all that is, and to our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters, to guide, not to govern, to tell us how to do it, but to guide us in a way that we can work together more sufficiently to bring about a change for humanity, to be an upliftment to those who come to these channels, these gatherings, to allow freedom, allow growth, allow more peace, more serenity, more love among each other, to not hold back, but to allow the love to shine upon us all. And blessed be all of us. Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was really beautiful.
All right, we close the broadcast and continue discussion. Stop broadcast. There's a red button, and you see in the corner there is a live button. You know, make it live whenever possible. And if it's not live, it's not live. Goodbye, the viewers.